Hello everyone. Welcome to online class of business studies. So students, in this video finally we are going to discuss the main motive of chapter 2, and that is formation of company. So formation of a company means bringing a company into existence and starting its business. That means the promotion of every business requires a process to be followed, yeah. So a number of formalities have to be completed before a unit came into its existence. So the promotion of a company involves the conceiving of a business opportunity and take an initiative to give it a practical shape. So a person or group or even a company may have discovered a business opportunity. So the formation of company involves following stages. Number 1 is promotion, then incorporation, then capital subscription, then commencement of business. So a company or a company is formed by these 4 steps. It's go on these steps. Okay, first is promotion, then incorporation, then capital subscription, then commencement of business. Every company has to pass through these stages, and a private company has to undergo only first 2 stages. Okay, that means promotion and incorporation. In a private company, they have to go through these 2 stages, and but in public company, they have to undergo all the 4 stages, from promotion, then incorporation, then capital subscription, then commencement of business. So let us discuss the first stage of formation of company, that is promotion. So promotion means conceiving a business opportunity and taking an initiative to form a company. So this stage includes all the process starting from the inception of an idea to the completion of the project. Okay, and it is a process of planning and arranging various inputs required for running an enterprise. So promotion involves identification of an opportunity or starting of feasibility, then assembling the requirement, then facing the proposition and meaning. And the promoter undertakes various stages of promoting an enterprise. And that promoter, they have to perform various stages of promotion. So here it is, the following steps that to be followed in promotion. Number 1 is identification of business opportunity. So this is the first stage in promotion. And the first stage in promotion of a business is the identification of a business opportunity. And the promoter visualize that there are opportunities for a particular type of business, and it can be done profitability. So the idea may be to exploit a new area of natural resources or a venture in the existing line of business. So the promoter develops the idea with the help of technical expert. He take the help of the technical expert of that field, and when the promoter feels that there are opportunity in taking up a particular venture, then the idea is taken further. Number 2 is feasibility studies. After identifying a business opportunity, the promoters undertake detailed studies of technical, financial, economic feasibility of a business. This is the second stage. And various factors relating to business are studied from a practical point of view. And the demand for the product is estimated, and the likely business share is determined. After determining the prospective demand, the promoter thinks of arranging finance, then labor or raw materials, then power, and etc. So the cost structure of the product is analyzed to find out its profitability from the venture. And an expert opinion is seen upon the viability of the project. Number 3 is name approval. After selecting the name of the company, the promoter submit an application to the register of the companies for its approval. Then it is it is necessary to get the name of the company approved from the register of companies. That means register of company approve the name of the company, and this is done in order to avoid duplication of the name, because many times it happens that the organization or that the company, they duplicate the name of the other company too. And generally this is done in order to avoid duplication of the name. And a company submit a list of names in order of preference, and the register matches the name with the names of existing companies, and then one name is approved. Then next we have fixing up signatories to the memorandum of association. So the promoters decide the name of a person to be a signatories to the memorandum of association. Promoters is the person who will decide the name of all the who will be the signatories to the memorandum of association, and usually the first signatories to the memorandum becomes the first director of the company, and the written consent of the person to act as director is taken, and they are asked to take qualifying shares of the company. The number 5 is appointment of professional. Promoters appoint merchant, banker, auditor, etc. The next stage of raising funds and deciding about various contracts. So promoters appoint the brokers and underwriters to ensure the availability of capital by sale of companies' securities, and they also appoint solicitors to deal with legal matters of the company. Promoters only appoint them. The next is preparation of necessary documents. The promoters prepare certain legal documents such as memorandum of association, article of association, which have to be submitted to the register of the companies. What is memorandum of association and what is the article of association, I will discuss later. Okay, I will let you know what it is. So the promoters take steps to prepare various legal documents of the company, which have to be submitted to the register of the companies at the time of incorporation. And the documents which are required to prepare include like a memorandum of association, then article of association or prospectus, and etc. The next we have is types of promoters. Number 1 is financial promoter. Financial institution includes like industrial banks or investment banks may take up the promotion of a company with a view to finding opportunities for investment. Some financial institutions of financiers may take up the promotion of a company, and they generally take up this work when financial environment is favorable at that time. And number 2 is professional promoters. So these are the professional person who specialize in promotion of companies. Professional promoters are the person who are specialized in the promotion of a companies, and they hand over the companies to shareholder when the business starts. And in India, there is a lack of professional promoters, but in many other countries, professional promoters play an important role and help the business community to a great extent. Okay, in England, like issue houses, or in USA, investment bank, and in Germany, joint stock banks have played the role of the promoters very appreciably. Then next is entrepreneur promoter. They conceive the idea of a new business unit, do the groundwork to establish it, and may subsequently become a part of the management. They are both promoters and the entrepreneurs. So see, in India, like managing agents played an important role in promoting new companies. Okay, and the person used to float new companies and then got into managing agency, right? Managing agency system has since long been abolished in India. So these entrepreneur or promoters, they gives an idea of a new business unit, yes, and do all the groundwork to establish the foundation of a business, and may subsequently become a part of the management because they are giving a proper idea of that, and they play the role of both promoters or entrepreneurs. Then next we have occasional promoters. They are not engaged in promotion work on a regular basis. They take up the promotion of some company, and once it is over, they go to their original profession. For instance, engineers, lawyers, etc. may float some companies, and these promoters take interest in floating some companies. See, these promoters takes interest in floating some companies, okay, and they are not in promotion work on a regular basis, but take up the promotion of some company, and then they go to their earlier profession. And for instance, like engineer, lawyer, etc. may float some companies. Then next, number 2 stage of joint stock company, formation of joint stock companies, incorporation. So what is the meaning of incorporation? So incorporation means registration of the company as body corporate under the Companies Act 1956 and receiving certificate of incorporation. So see, a company being an artificial entity come into existence only after its registration with the register of company. So a number of formalities have to be completed before a request is made to the register for its registration. So a legal process has to be completed before a company obtains a separate legal entity. So after ensuring that all necessary documents are filled, the Register of Companies issue a certificate of incorporation, and with this certificate the companies become a separate legal entity. So here are the some steps of is to be followed before getting a company registered, and these steps are: number 1, application for incorporation. Promoter makes an application for the incorporation of the company to the Register of Companies. So see, the first step is getting a company incorporated, yes, and is of obtaining the approval of name from the Register of the Companies. So a company may adopt any name which is not prohibited under the ambulance, and which is not identical with or does not closely resemble the names of a company already registered. So the applicant should give a maximum of 6 names in order to avoid delay. So the application of the approval of name should be sent to the Register of Companies and at the state in which the company is to be situated. So the register is expected to approve the name within 6 days of the receipt of application, and proposed name must be registered within 3 months from the date of intimation of the register filing. So which the promoter will have to apply again to the register for the revalidation of the approval. So they have to incorporate their name in the register of the company. Then next we have filling of necessary documents. So like the promoters files the following documents. Okay, they have to fill all these necessary documents in Register of the Companies. Number 1 is Memorandum of Association. So the preparation of Memorandum of Association is the next step in the incorporation of a company. And this Memorandum of Association, it is a constitution of the company which describes its objects and its scopes and the relation with outside world. So the memorandum is to be signed by at least 7 persons. And if it is a public limited company, and at least 2 persons in case of a private limited company. So the memorandum should be printed and properly stamped. The number 2 is article of association. So see, beside memorandum, the promoters will also prepare article of association, and it is a document which contains rules and regulations relating to the internal management of the company. It shows the rules and regulation of the company. And a public limited company may not file its own articles of association. It may adopt the model course prescribed in table. Okay, and a private limited company is also required to submit its article duly signed by the signatories. Then statement of authorized capital. That means a company have to give the statement of their authorized capital. Next, 4 is consent of the proposed director. So this means they have to give the consentment of their director, that who will be the director and what work will be done by them. Then agreement with the proposed managing director. What are the agreements between them? Between the managing director or the promoters or the company. The next is statutory declaration. That means a statutory declaration to the effect that all the requirement of his acts and rules made thereunder in the aspects of registration and have been compiled with. So the declaration is to be signed by an advocate or chartered accountant or cost accountant or company secretary who is engaged in the formation of the company. So a person named in these articles as a director or manager or secretary of the company should also sign the declaration. The number 3 is payments of fees. Along with filling of above document, registration fee has to be deposited, which depends an amount of the authorized capital. So see, at the time of registration, prescribed registration fees and filling fees for each document filed for registration are to be paid at the register office. They have to pay some payment. So the fee to be paid varies with the amount of nominal capital in case of companies. So with share capital or according to the number of members in case of companies without share capital. The next is registration. The register verifies all the documents submitted. If he is satisfied, then he enters the name of the company in this register. So see, you will prescribe the name of your company. Yes. So the registered company have to register that names in their file or in their register. So after that, after selecting the name, if the registered company is satisfied, he will enter the name of your company or others company whose name has been given. So he will enter the name of his company in the register. Then this registration process will be okay. The next is certificate of incorporation. See, when all the required documents are filled with the register along with the requisite fees or scrutiny is made. So when all documents are found in order, the register will enter the name of the company in the register of companies and then issue a certificate of incorporation. And the date mentioned in the certificate is the date of birth of the company or incorporation of the company. From then the company can start their company. And after incorporation, the company becomes a separate legal entity with a perpetual succession. And this certificate of incorporation is a conclusive proof of the existence of the company. And once this certificate of incorporation is issued, the company come into existence from the date mentioned on it. And any deficiency found in the incorporation of the company later on will not influence the existence of the company, and the incorporation of the remain valid. The third stage of company is capital subscription. So a public company can raise funds from the public by issuing shares and debentures. And for these, it has to issue prospectus and undergo various other formalities. So, steps required for raising funds are from public. Number one is ACBI approval. So, see, after going through the incorporation formalities, the next stage will be raise of the fund. And a public or private company having share capital cannot commence business unless minimum subscription as stated in the prospectus has been subscribed. So, a company not having share capital may commence business after obtaining certificate of incorporation. So, the annual amount stated for allotment should be duly received in case an allotment has been made properly. And they have to go the various formalities. So, here are the steps that are required for raising funds from public are: number one, ACBI approval. The full form of ACBI is Securities Exchange Board of India. Securities Exchange Board of India. S for securities, E for exchange, B for board, and then I for of India. Okay, and ACBI regulates the capital market of India. A public company is required to take approval from the ACBI. So, see, ACBI is a regulatory body to control capital market in India. And a public company is required to submit relevant information with the ACBI before issuing securities in the capital market. And the companies are required to give information according to guidelines for disclosure and investor protection. So, prior permission of ACBI is required before raising funds from the public. Then next is filling of prospectus. So, see, a prospectus has to be filled with the register of companies. Yes, and this prospectus is a document inviting general public to subscribe to the shares or debenture of the company. It is a document which invite offer from the public to purchase share and debenture of the company. And the investor make up their mind about investment on the basis of information contained in the prospectus. Then third is appointment of bankers, brokers, underwriters. So, see, the bankers are appointed to receive application money from the public. Okay, and the application money goes to the bank account of the company. Then the broker encourage public to subscribe to the share offered by the company, and if the company is not sure of selling the whole lot of share, it may appoint underwriters. Okay, and the broker purchase unsold shares themselves and charge commission from this service. The next is minimum subscription. According to the ACBI guidelines, minimum subscription is 90% of the issue amount. If minimum subscription is not received, then the allotment cannot be made and the application money must be returned to the applicant within 30 days. See, in order to prevent companies to start business with inadequate fund, a minimum subscription is fixed. A company must sell a minimum number of shares before starting the next process, and the minimum number is called minimum subscription. So, as per the rules of ACBI, a company must receive 90% of the issued amount within a period of 90 days or 120 days from the issue of prospectus. So, in case the company does not receive the minimum subscription, then it must return the application money within the next 10 days. Then next stage is application to stock exchange. it is necessary for a public company to list their shares in the stock exchange. Therefore, the promoters apply in stock exchange to list company shares. See, a company must get itself listed in a stock exchange before selling the securities to the general public. And the company must make application to at least one stock exchange for a permission to deal in its stocks. And the stock exchange authorized verify the financial information of the company, like the name of the company is listed in the exchange. So if the company fails to get permission from the stock exchange within 10 weeks from the date of closure of subscription list, then the allotment will become void, and money received on application must be returned within 8 days. Then next is allotment of shares. Allotment of shares means acceptance of share applied. Allotment letter are issued to the shareholder and the names and address of the shareholder submitted to the register. See, after getting the shares listed, the company makes allotment of shares. Okay, and a list is prepared giving details about the names and address of all the shareholders and the number of shares allotted, etc. The company has to submit a return of allotment with the register giving details of shares allotted to each shareholder. So this is how allotment of share is done. Then number 4 is commencement of business. So to commence business, a public company has to obtain a certificate of commencement of business. For this, the following documents have to be filled with the register of companies. So see, this after obtaining the certificate of incorporated, a company not having share capital can commence business, and the companies having share capital, whether public company or private company, cannot commence business before obtaining the certificate of commencement of business. And the Companies Act 2013 provides that companies having share capital shall not commence any business or exercise any borrowing power without complying the following requirements. So number 1 is declaration that 90% of the issued amount has been subscribed. They have to declare that their 90% of issued amount has been subscribed by the public. The number 2 is a declaration that all the directors have paid in case in respect of allotment of share made by them. They have to declare or needs to be filled by director with the register that every subscriber of the memorandum has paid the value of shares agreed to be taken by him and paid up the share capital to the company is not less than 5 lakh in case of public company and 1 lakh in case of private company on the date of making this declaration. Then number 3 is statutory declaration that the above requirements have been completed and must be signed off by the director of company. Yes. The company can file with the register a verification of register office in the prescribed form, and the register will scrutinize that all these documents, and if he is satisfied, then he will issue a certificate of commencement of business, and the grant of this certificate complete the process of formation of a company, and company starts its business activities from the date of issue of certificate. So they have to declare that the company has been duly signed or attested by the director of the company. This is how business commence or business start, or from the date of issue of certificate, the business commencement date started, and the certificate. And this certificate is a legal document and proof that formation of the company is completed. And the certificate is conclusive evidence that the company is entitled to commence its business. So here we learn about commencement of business or formation of the joint stock company. So in next video, I'll discuss about memorandum of association, or what is article of association, then prospectus. Till then, take care. Thank you.